Welcome to our SNHU career presentation on building your career through effective networking. Your experience here at Southern New Hampshire University is important to us. It's our policy and practice to create an inclusive and accessible learning environment. If there are aspects of this presentation that present any barriers to accessibility, please notify our Online Accessibility Center as soon as possible at 866-305-9430. You can also email them at oac@snhu.edu. This video includes closed caption for the hearing impaired. Simply click the CC logo at the bottom of the video as shown here. Our topic tonight is building your career through effective networking. My name is Tori Chartrand, and I'm a career advisor here at Southern New Hampshire University. Also with us tonight is my wonderful coworker, Bonnie Ward.
Thanks, Tori. It's awesome to be here with you all.
We're both really excited to present on the topic of professional networking. This is such an important topic, whether you're a job seeker or not. And even if you're currently working, networking is still important. During this webinar, we will provide you with some really good tips and best practices to give you a good start in building and maintaining your professional network. Our learning objectives for today's webinar. So upon completion of this webinar, you're going to gain a better understanding of the following: the definition and purpose of professional networking, how to identify appropriate networking contacts, preparing for and participating in network activities in person and online, managing and growing your professional network, and leveraging your network for professional development and career advancement.
What is networking? If you were to research definitions of professional networking, you'll find more definitions than you really need. So we're going to share a couple of productive ways to describe networking. For the purposes of this webinar, we'll talk about networking in the context of you being the job seeker. But it's also important to note that networking is a life skill, not only applied during your job search, but throughout your professional career. It would be in your best interest to continue the practice of networking even when you have landed a professional position. Professional networking is a way that you can expand your knowledge and skill through relationships with other professionals. The key word here, relationships. Build relationships with other professionals in and out of your field of expertise so that you will have people to turn to for information and support, and also learning. Professional networking can help you with your own career advancement. As you connect with other professionals and get to know them, you build up trust. As people get to know you better, they'll have a better picture of your capabilities and your career goals. As they encounter opportunities they may be a good fit for you, they can readily share them with you. But here is an important point. Networking is a two-way street. The more you give to your network, the more you will get. As you seek opportunities throughout your job search, you will also be a resource to others by readily sharing your knowledge, skill, and capabilities. Be a source of career advancement for others by actively sharing information about opportunities that may interest individuals in your network. Again, the more you give, the more you will get. The law of reciprocity. But just because you engage in this concept of a two-way street, don't set your expectations that you'll get something in return. That may not be the case. This overview of the law of reciprocity is from Ivan Misner from BNI, Business Network International. The key point here is that networking takes time, it takes effort, and it's not fast food. You can't expect instant gratification. Why network? Why is it worth your time to engage in this? A large number of openings are filled by referral, even if the employer uses traditional methods of recruitment. There are around 70% of jobs are found through networking. So building a network and getting yourself in a position to be referred is such a critically important part of your job search. Networking will help you find a job, but it's not a direct path to a job offer. It's a process, and that process takes time. Answering the second question, I'm so busy with work and school, is now the best time to get into networking, is a great question. The answer is start now. I think a lot of people put networking low on their priority list, competing it with family, work, and education. Totally understandable. If you're super busy, at least start the process of reaching out to people you know. This all takes time, so build solid relationships before you need to seek career assistance from your network.
The power of referrals. So, according to JobVite data, referred applicants are 5 times more likely than average to be hired and 15 times more likely to be hired than applicants from a job board. Those are some big numbers. Therefore, this is saying employer referrals continue to be a significant source of hires for organizations. Does your organization have a referral program? A large number of employers offer their employees a referral or bonus plan to hire new candidates. It might be worth it to ask. The more you network and get to know people, the more that you'll be in a position to have someone refer you to a company. So, where do you start? To begin building your network, it is important to think very critically about who you already know, and among those people, who can help you professionally. Consider every person you know as a resource, and think about how you can leverage that resource to connect with new people. It's important to emphasize the words every person. It could be a family member, a coworker, or a mentor at work, an instructor, or an old friend you've known for years. It could be the person who cuts your hair. People know people. One of my coworkers, Peter Bartell, who works on the webinars with us, says to think about networking with the acronym COFFEE in mind, which stands for coworkers, family, friends, and everybody else. It takes practice and practical experience to develop your networking skills. Starting with people you know will help you develop your networking skills and build confidence in how you reach out to others to expand your network. Networking is literally everywhere, guys. Think about all the places where you can network and all the people that you can network with. As an SNHU student, there are many ways to build your professional network. Talk with fellow students and reach out to alumni. You've got nothing to lose. Networking with alumni is a good idea because you have the common bond of attending SNHU. For example, if you're a STEM student, you can take advantage of a program called MentorNet. Find a group of professionals through the local Chamber of Commerce maybe, or a Toastmasters group. BNI or Young Professionals group is always a good idea to look into as well. Joining professional associations that are relevant to your industry and show up for events. Most professional groups also have a group on LinkedIn where you can participate in online discussions, or on Twitter where there are professional level chats during specific times of every day. Career fairs are great because it gives you an opportunity to meet face to face with employers and recruiters. Really, the answer to where to network is everywhere. You might run into someone you know at the grocery store and you start talking about your job search. That's networking. So let's get into some detail about in-person networking. Then we'll touch upon online networking as well.
Prior to attending an event, whether it's a conference, a seminar, or something specifically for the purpose of professional networking, find out in advance, if you can, who will be attending. You may be able to review the RSVP list before the event by checking the event information online or requesting a list from the event coordinator. So practicing an interesting elevator pitch, which we'll talk about later, or focusing on your experience and interests is important. Just prepare some questions or comments about the event's topics or remarks about news of the day that may be of relevance to people in attendance. Come prepared, pens, notebook, business cards if appropriate, and think about a way to exchange your information professionally. All right, once you arrive at the event, now it's time to work the event. Check out the registration table, review the list of registrants, or look at the name badges. You can check in periodically to see if your targeted people have arrived. Travel light, check your coat, keep one hand free so you can shake hands with new contacts, and don't weight yourself down with food and drinks. Take a chance. Approach someone to talk with. Be the first to extend your hand. That person will probably be thankful that you did. In a minute, we'll talk about the challenge of being shy or being an introvert if you hesitate. This is a good time to test your confidence. Just relax. Be confident in yourself, and again, just take a chance. A recruiter friend of mine says if you have two ears and one mouth, use them proportionately. Good point to be focused on hearing the other person than you doing most of the talking. Ask good, open ended questions and then focus on what the person is saying. As you listen carefully, think about areas where you might be of help to the other person. That's back to the law of reciprocity.
All right, guys, so let's talk a little bit about business cards. If you don't currently have a job, you might wonder what you would put on a business card. Here are a few ideas from Vistaprint.com. I've purchased personal business cards from them and was really happy with the quality. As a student, you could go with something like Sydney Collins, economics major, or a card like Brian's. And if describing yourself as a consultant is too bold, you could say something like marketing communications specialist. Or instead of specialist, use the word professional, aspiring professional, or expert. You can keep your cards simple and just supply your email, phone number, and link to your social media sites, your blog, your online portfolio, or other websites that you have. On Vistaprint, they provide dozens of templates like this one, and you just start typing with your own information. But I would recommend leaving off your home address as the other samples demonstrate. You can get business cards printed at office supply stores like Staples or Office Depot or even online. These samples have to be from Vistaprint.
When you're at the event, some important ways to connect with people and have them retain your information is to hand out some business cards. If you don't have them printed up, that's fine. Think about it for the next time, but you can also hand out your resume. When you do receive a business card for someone, take the time to look at it and save it in a safe spot. After your conversation, jot a note on the back to remind you later of a highlight of your conversation. This is really an important step because you may leave with 6 to 10 cards. Whether it's the next day or 2 weeks later, you'll be glad that you've chosen and written those notes. For example, if someone had as a nickname, jot that down. One of your goals is to get to know new people. Take the initiative. Go up to individuals or a group and introduce yourself. Don't spend too much time with any one person, even if you have much in common to discuss. And an important point, try not to just hang out with your friends. Meet new people. It's important to have a realistic mission and set realistic expectations. You're not there to get a job on the spot. You are there to make new connections and build some long-term relationships. You don't necessarily need to target the top executives for your networking connections, but it's valuable to meet people at all levels in an organization. Although you want to meet as many people as possible you can, don't set lofty goals based on numbers. It's more about the quality of your relationships than the quantity.
I get a lot of questions about how to navigate a networking event. Whether you like networking events or not, you might be at a loss for what to say. How do you break the ice? Starting out, find out areas of common interest, or just be conversational. You might talk about current events or sports. Just be careful about not getting into too many heated political discussions. You can also talk about business and what's going on in your industry. Just be ready for people to ask you, what do you do? And if you tell people you're job seeking, they'll want to know what you're looking for. And this is where you're prepared with a good, concise, focused answer, otherwise known as your elevator pitch. Okay, so now here's some information on contacting people you don't know. This can be stressful, so we wanted to offer some tips. First of all, you'll find it a lot easier if you have a mutual connection or something in common. Membership in an organization or attending the same college, maybe. Introduce yourself by giving some background about what you're doing now and then talking about your career aspirations and things you're interested in. When you're highlighting the reason why you're contacting the person, don't say the primary reason is looking for a job. Initially, you want to meet with people so you can ask questions about their industry or maybe their company. Get to know them and what insights they can give you. Your initial mission is to learn more about the other person and his or her industry. If you make it about your job openings, the person might shut you down. Say that you're interested in learning from them and that you value their perspective. Maybe there is something you can touch upon that you found interesting in your research about the organization. We will provide you a link to a blog post on the SNHU career blog called Tips on Connecting with People You Don't Know. As a part of that blog, we provide an example provide an example and introductory email that you might send to someone that you don't know. It could be really helpful.
All right, so now we're going to move on from actual networking events to networking phone calls, and this is probably more of what you may be doing. So as you prepare to call someone, it really is important to write down some notes of what you want to say on the call. It may seem odd to have a script for a brief phone call, but it's really, really important. And it's just some notes that you can reference. Having notes can be quite helpful because you're not then experienced in making these type of calls. It can definitely give you something to hold on to. Your notes provide a structure, a sequence to guide your conversation, and they also allow you to kind of relax and be yourself on the call. Just be careful not to just read your notes with a stoic monotone. You don't want to sound like a robot. So one tip that may be obvious, but it's worth noting is don't make a call with the expectation of getting a voicemail. Just be prepared to have a conversation. The last thing you want is to actually get the person on the phone and then feel startled that you were unprepared to answer. So, however, also be prepared to leave a message, one that's clear and concise. And the reason I emphasize concise is that people won't listen to a long, rambling voice message. Just state your purpose, your name, and your contact information, and they let them get back in touch with you. Now let's talk about networking meetings. And what it's a lot about is research, research, research. So prior to the meeting, read about the company and the industry that you're in and you want to be in. What is their value, their mission statement, their culture? What is that like? Include competitor news or any other news that has an impact on the company or the industry. Learn more about the company, learn more about the person you're meeting with by Googling and doing it LinkedIn. You could even try to find the person on Twitter. Based on your research, now prepare a list of relevant questions and topics so that you can use the meeting time effectively. It's about time management. It's your responsibility to manage your networking meeting. As you kick off the meeting, start by summarizing why you're interested in meeting. Then go over some basic things like confirming how much time you have to meet, thank the person for the meeting, a little bit of small talk. But share your story. This is where your elevator pitch comes in. Help them understand where you've been, where you want to go, and what led you to talk to them. Then ask for their story. You can learn a great deal from hearing about how people got to where they are. How did they break into the field? What was their progression from one job to the next? How did they get started? Ask industry and job related questions that you've already prepared. And if you're networking for the purpose of seeking new employment, share information about the companies you're targeting in your search. Perhaps your new contact may know people at the company or know something about the company that can help you in your job search. If you feel you have built a rapport, you can ask for referrals at these companies or any other relevant companies. When closing the meeting, it is always important to thank that person for taking the time and for seeing how you can give back in return. This is a very important step in the networking process.
Follow up. One of my favorite things to talk about when it comes to the job search process. This is very, very important to employers. We get a lot of feedback from employers that talk about how disappointed they are in people that don't follow up. So, guys, employers and recruiters are begging you to give them a call. It's just like you raising your hand and letting them know how interested you are. Be sure to follow up promptly with the individuals you've met. You want them to easily remember who you are, so don't delay in following up. I think the easiest way is to send an email thanking them and mentioning how nice it was to meet them, and reference something that you discussed. I'd suggest getting connected on social media, primarily LinkedIn, but also follow them on Twitter if you have an account. If you're not comfortable connecting with them on LinkedIn, you can always send them a direct message and start a conversation there first. Keep your ears and eyes open for any news or information about the people you've met and the companies where they work. Setting up a Google News alert is one way to do that. This will help you come up with topics to talk about as you follow up with them in the future. One other tip is to keep good records of who you meet with the dates and help you stay organized for future follow ups. It's also a good idea to make note if someone specifically referred you to that person. I recommend following up with people who refer you to someone else so you can keep them posted on your job search activity. They'll definitely be grateful for that. The internet and social media have opened up a whole new realm of possibility for professional networking. You can use social media tools like LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and blogs to identify new contacts, reach out to request networking meetings, and maintain connections with individuals in your network over time. Professional associations often hold online conferences and meetings, and most have groups on LinkedIn. Most professional associations offer inexpensive or sometimes free student memberships, so it's cost effective to join and connect with subject matter experts in your field. You will find SNHU Connect on your career page under the Network with Professionals tab. This is a private online community with over 15,000 SNHU students and alumni. That's a lot of people you could connect with. If you have any questions on how to navigate SNHU Connect or where to find it, please don't ever hesitate to reach out to us. So I mentioned this before, this program called MentorNet. So now we're just going to get into it a little bit so you know more about it. We have a program for STEM students called MentorNet, which is a great way to build your network. We currently have about 300 students signed up to be connected to a mentor. Mentors can help by providing insights and perspectives about career paths that you might not know, and they'll oftentimes connect you with people within their network. We'll also provide you with a couple different links so you can look more into this.
All right, so another resource that we have, and these are all free resources available to you for lifetime, is Career Shift. This is valuable because you can search for jobs, you can find job postings, and also contacts. It's a very, very comprehensive tool for your career search. You'll find a lot of job postings here, but as it relates to networking, the really incredible feature of Career Shift is that you can find contact information for employers as well. So, also perhaps new alumni that are employed by that company. You can also search job titles within a specific geographical area. You then will have the option of finding contacts. It will say finding contacts within any of the job listings to identify people within the organization. This is valuable because it will find people that you can contact to increase the likelihood of getting your resume reviewed. If they present that to the hiring manager or to HR, that means a lot more value to you than if you just sent it in through the website. You can also ask people you find about doing informational interviews. All right, so where do you find Career Shift? It's very simple. You find it on the career website, and it's within the Search for Jobs page. Once you've opened that page, click on Recommended Job Boards.
All right, guys, as we wrap up our webinar tonight, I encourage you to check out our website for other upcoming events as we constantly have things going on for you. Once you click through, you'll see a full list of events, including our webinars, employer spotlights, and Twitter chats. Our career team is always here to help you. If you have any questions regarding today's presentations or need more one-on-one assistance with your resumes, cover letters, mock interviews, or the job search itself, please feel free to reach out to our dedicated team of career advisors and we can schedule a one-on-one career consultation. You can screenshot this slide now, or you can always reach out to us at 888-672-1458. Again, thank you for joining our webinar, and we hope this was helpful for you.